Hello guys and welcome back to the... Shit, I'm losing count. How many brain cells does Azzolina have from the last episode? 1, 2... Yeah, right, 12. Welcome to the 13th episode of Italian Politician of the Week. I'm your host, Ipernick, and today we are talking about Mario Monti, former Prime Minister of Italy, renowned economist, and currently the head of Bocconi University in Milan. I know I do this all the time, but people say it works, so I'm gonna keep doing it anyway. 90% of you aren't actually subscribed to my channel, so be sure to do so. If you sub, you will receive a helicopter by mail in 3 to 5 business days. That's right, sue me. Of course, also like and comment and sign up to the Discord, yada yada yada, let's get on with it. Mario Monti was born in 1943 in Varese, though he spent most of his youth in Argentina. In 1965, he graduated in economics at the Bocconi University in Milan, one of the most renowned universities in Italy. He worked in Italian central bank for a while until he was sent to the EU headquarters, where he took the role of European Commissioner for Internal Market from 1994 to 1999 and of European Commissioner for Competition from 1999 to 2004. After his 10-year-long career in international politics, he was given the role of head of Bocconi University in 2004, a position he still holds proudly to this day. However, one day, in 2001, he received a phone call from the current president of the Republic, Giorgio Napolitano, who made him a very weird offer.
With the exit of the previous Italian government and you having such a good reputation as a professor and as a regulator, and it seems like the problems are so daunting, why did you accept this job? Why did you become Prime Minister, and what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, I had always been very reluctant to take on a role in Italian domestic politics. My only policy commitment had been for 10 years as a member of the European Commission, but this request from President Napolitano came obviously in a context which had nothing to do with party politics, and which was at such a severe time of crisis for Italy that I could not refuse. It's a tough challenge, but here I am.
You heard that right. Berlusconi, who had been Prime Minister since 2008, was accused of doing a very poor job in trying to recover the Italian economy after the whole mess in 2009, so he was forced to resign. This led to President Napolitano suggesting Monti to take his place. At first, the parliament was ecstatic. 80% of the parliament approved his government, and everybody just assumed that now that Berlusconi was out of the picture, Italy could finally shine with the guidance of this expert of economics. Well, it did not work out as well as people thought, but let's look at Monti's compass before we talk about his government. Monti is a centrist in most aspects. Due to his extensive knowledge of economics, he acknowledges both the cons and the pros of Keynes and Friedman's economic theory. However, he leans more towards the latter. He's socially conservative, but that has never really affected his politics. He balances out the implementation of taxes in a way that many people dislike, though. I will elaborate on that very soon. Monti's approach to politics is technical and soulless, something which is good if you are, I don't know, the Minister of Economics or the head of the National Bank, but not as much if you are running a country. Good leaders are supposed to balance out the needs of the people with the needs of the economy, which Monti did not even try to do. He approached the economic situation with the same way one would approach a math problem. His careless behavior towards the people made him very much disliked by everyone, even though his policies were right in theory. A recent poll said that when people were asked which one was the worst government of the last 20 years, 18% said Monti's government, which was the most common answer. So what did he do exactly? Let's have a look. First of all, he adopted a trickle-down strategy. Essentially, he lowered taxes to the 1%, hence the richest. This increased the GDP. He also passed the Salva Italia decree that included 30 billion euros worth of cuts, specifically in old age pensions. The last thing he did that made him hated the most is his approach to euros. Many anti-EU politicians today accuse Monti of crippling the Italian economy so that it wouldn't be able to compete with its European neighbors, and therefore making it dependent on European funds to survive. Unemployment increased by 1.5%, general tax burdens increased by 2%, and even though the GDP increased in general, it was only by 1%, and the economic inequality increased by 5% between the upper and lower classes. Monti's biggest mistake, though, has to be his mismanagement of government funds. He used 130 billion euros to invest in European banks in the hope of applying the trickle-down theory in return. That did not work out at all, and Monti left the government with an even higher debt than before. There have been times where the trickle-down politics actually worked, but only if all members of an economic system are tightly linked, and honestly I doubt that there is that level of a connection. In fact, turns out that the European Bank just took the money and left, without investing a cent on Italy, leading to an increase on spread. There is no nicer way to say this, but Monti fucked up. Many countries like Germany, Poland, Denmark, the Netherlands and France did a way better job than him to, recover from the economic situation, but for some reason Monti, the renowned genius and flawlessly educated economist, crippled our economy, even though he was hired to fix the country. Just to put money into perspective, the five-star movement wasted 100 billion euros in nonsensical bonuses, which costed less than Monti's investment. Just seriously, what the fuck? Due to this level of uncertainty, a lot of interesting theories have been coming up to explain what the hell was going on. Most economists and journalists today would tell you that Monti's austerity measures actually saved the economy from collapse, because Berlusconi was destroying it, but data say otherwise. Berlusconi was actually doing better than Monti, and the former was in the middle of an economic crisis. On the other hand, many believe that Monti was just a puppet of the European Union to cripple the Italian economy so that it could not compete with the German and French ones. In this narrative, Monti is not portrayed as the humble academic we see on TV, rather as a snake who only wants to enrich himself and establish a centralized European government. As reported by La7, the TV news channel that likes to copy strike my videos once in a while, with the beginning of Brexit negotiations, the EU called in a special commission called the High-Level Group on Own Resources, made of the most renowned economists in Europe, including Mario Monti, but also interesting characters such as Franz Timmermans and Guy
Verhofstadt.
This group was established to sneak taxes into people's purchases, such as gas and electricity. Of course, I'm just a student of political science that makes YouTube videos, so I do not have the answer for everything. I'm sure of this though. Monti is a very smart man who knows a lot about economics, though I can see from a mile away that something went very wrong. As much as I like him, I wouldn't trust him with my grocery shopping, especially because how can such a smart man fuck up this badly? There is definitely something fishy going on here. In 2013, after he realized things were not working out, he resigned and went back to Milan in his fancy university. People like Letta and Renzi would come along and fix most of his crucial fuck-ups, though Monti still leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth when mentioned. God knows how wealthier the EU got from his little government here in Italy. I don't know what else to say about Monti. I hope you aren't as confused as I am after this brief presentation. For this month, we are done with the politicians of the week. This leaves us 2 Fridays to go. A while back I made a poll where I asked you what I should do next week. So yeah, I'm going to start working on that video very soon. Gabriele will have to wait. As for Friday the 30th, I have already decided to make a Halloween special about a certain political event that has left the mark on Italy. Don't forget to answer the poll for Politician of the Month. I personally wouldn't know what to choose. They all kind of suck. However, if this show has taught me anything, is that the fan favorite is always the dumbest and not the most competent. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week.